Hello and welcome to Demon Interviews, episode 140. God, we are almost old enough to drink. I'm your host, Springy, and joining us today is our very special guest.
Hello, everybody. My name is Jem from Prawnhorn Heroes.
Awesome.
Here.
Well, first of all, I want to ask, how are you doing today?
Doing pretty well. My day just started a couple hours ago, and it's 3 p.m. my time right now, so that's a horrible start to my day. But no, man, I'm excited to be here talking to you and whatever we get into.
Awesome. Well, have you ever been interviewed like this before?
Not like this for Prawnhorn Heroes. This is kind of like the first instance that I'm doing something, or me and Fee have done something like this, so it's exciting.
Awesome. Well, we're happy to introduce you to this side of the world of interviewing for your thing, so that's awesome.
Absolutely, man. I appreciate that.
Yeah, of course. So, today, we're gonna be a few combinations of questions and stuff. And yeah, there's gonna be some. It does not be a. There might be a quiz. I might at the end be like, "Here's a quiz on Tokusatsu," and see it now.
Nice. I'm down, dude. If you have anything ready, let me know.
I have like a fucking steel trap in my head. I'm good. I can. But yeah. First up is would you rather eat Cheetos or go on a hike?
That's kind of tricky, only because I feel like they're two different activities for me to partake in. But if I had to choose, I would probably go with Cheetos, but they would have to be like flaming hot puffs. I don't like crunchy Cheetos. And if they're crunchy Cheetos, I'm picking the hike, honestly.
Yeah. It's any kind of Cheetos you want, man. I mean, I'm not gonna be picky. I mean,
yeah.
So some people who may know you, or coming here from hopeful free advertisements, people know you, and you're on YouTube and stuff. So why did you start that in the first place?
It kind of started over quarantine of 2020, and I had the channel before since 2018, but I was only doing stuff here and there. Like I would put out a video maybe like once every other month, or maybe once a month or something like that. But I was never able to pursue it how I wanted, I guess. I was living in a different spot than where I am currently, and then where I was when I started the channel, like officially. But when I first started doing little videos here and there, I was living in Philadelphia, so I was like working job to job, and I was working in kitchens a lot, so I was doing that a lot. But when we left Philadelphia and quarantine happened, I kind of just got, I don't know, super motivated to do more. Like I wanted to actually see if I could make something out of being a content creator for Tokusatsu, or just like, a quote unquote like face or whatever. I really just wanted to share my opinion, meet people, and kind of just spread the word about Toku in like a very non-biblical way, because I'm not trying to sound like going on your door just like, wait, hello, have you heard about the the word of our Lord and Savior Jesus? Yeah, exactly. So I kind of just started making silly videos on YouTube, and they were like okay, but I realized that if I was gonna do this, I needed to kind of like take it a little bit more seriously. And I've always been like a creator. I'm a drummer aside from doing the YouTube stuff. I played in bands most of my teen years, and like I said before, I'm a cook. So like art, one way or another, has always been like my thing. And I've always been interested in TV. Obviously, I grew up with Power Rangers and stuff like that. So like TV and film has always been one of my interests. And to kind of like tap into it, even if a little bit, with YouTube content creation or TikTok, or anything else, like it's just been really cool, and just kind of seems like it was now or never, honestly, because I'm not getting any younger, and it's like I love this so much. Why not try to talk about it more and make something out of it?
Yeah, that's awesome. I mean, that's the most legit reason to start it. I mean,
Yeah.
um, one that like might be uncomfortable. It's nothing crazy, but like, have you ever, because like here from YouTube itself, we have not gotten any funds from them. You know, we've gotten some from merchandise, but have you gotten anything from YouTube? Because I know it's a fun topic. I know, but I'm just curious.
Yeah, so like that happens not right away,
Yeah.
and we don't get anything that like pays the bills or anything, right? Like we are in the YouTube partner program because we reached the requirements of 4,000 watch time hours and 1,000 subscribers. So when we reached that, I did apply because I was like, I
Well.
would be an idiot not to. Yeah, exactly. Why not? And even if you don't get accepted, then you can at least just say that you did, and or just try again. Because just because you don't get accepted right away, you can't get accepted at another point. But so we just wanted to just to see if we could. Same thing with TikTok. It was like you need a certain amount of views and followers, which is 10,000 for both. So once we reached those requirements, I was like, all right, well, why not? You know. But again, like what we do, and we got accepted from both of them. But what we do make from YouTube and TikTok is literally just like coffee change. It's something that like you would get, you know, like for the side, like it's literally just like tip money if you were working in like the cooking or hospitality industry. So like it's nothing again that we're living well off of. Like all the stuff that we buy is not from like money that we make on the channel. I wish that the stuff started paying itself. That's obviously a goal for anybody, especially if you're in content creation. But yeah, no, man, it's been really cool. We do get some stuff, but again, it's like 50 cents, you know, like a day or something. Like even when stuff on TikTok goes quote unquote viral, it that doesn't even make, you know, like it's
Doesn't
like,
make the money. Doesn't make the
it's
bucks.
like a couple bucks. And like to be honest, like I was saying before, like my goal with this is to make something out of it. But like right now where I'm at, money isn't kind of like my priority, or like it is a end goal, but it's not like my main mission right now. Yeah. It's kind of just like meeting new people, working on my own skills because I am not the best. I'm learning every day. And like doing stuff like this where like I get to meet people like you. So yeah.
Awesome. Well, because like a lot of the Toku questions I might be asking you throughout this is coming from my head. So so if I'm like it's because I didn't write them down because school has been nuts, man. Summer classes are
problem at all.
And speed racer type of thing. So I know you and me talked a little bit on Twitter, which is where I was able to contact you on. But what is your favorite? First of all, what's your favorite tokusatsu series? I guess that's the best word for it.
Can I give you like a list?
Yeah, you're go nuts, man. These are coming out of my head out of like randomness. So you go nuts, man. Give me a list. I'm happy with it. We'll compare lists.
Yeah, I can give one just like in general for Toku as a whole. So I'll give you one from each little like series, like subgenre. So for Kamen Rider, it's like I told you in our message, it's between O's 01 and Decade, only because I love the suits of that season. I love the main heroes of that season, and I love the supporting characters. And story aside, I could gush all day about story, but like really, like I feel like when we watch Toku, the characters immerse us in the story, right? Like you watch it because of these characters, and the story definitely adds to it, but like it means nothing if you don't care about that main hero or like the supporting cast. So for Kamen Rider, it would be either O's, Decade, or 01. Love those seasons to death. For Super Sentai, it would probably be between Time Ranger, Deca Ranger, and it's hard because I just want to keep it to 3. And let's say Gokaiger. And I hate that I said Gokaiger only because I know it's so like overly loved and like it has such hype, but I think it's for good reason. Honorable mentions would be like Tokyuger and Kyoryuger. I love them so much. But Sentai is something else I could just talk about all day, you know, like it's so good. But those are definitely a couple of my favorite seasons. For Power Rangers, it's definitely Jungle Fury, Lost Galaxy, Lightspeed Rescue, Time Force, kind of like in that realm. Like I really love that like late 90s, early 2000 era, with Jungle Fury being like the exception. Obviously RPM is amazing.
Yeah.
And then lastly, like a Toku that I would say that I love so much and that I have rewatched a bunch of times is Garo versus Road. I got into that last year. And it's a season of Garo that's like not your usual Garo season, but really, dude, an amazing tokusatsu, fighting wise, special effects, acting, the whole nine. Like it does a great job. It's definitely not for a younger audience, Garo in general. But versus Road really seems to be like that new age of Toku where I see it and I'm like, that's what these other shows need to be doing.
Yeah.
It's what I want to see more of. So if I could recommend anybody to watch like a tokusatsu that's like mature and all that whatever stuff, I would recommend Garo versus Road because it has a great blend of everything.
Awesome.
Yeah, man.
And just because I said we were gonna compare lists, and people are gonna be like, "You forgot to say," because yeah. I'm just gonna try and go in the same order. Writer, some of my favorites are probably the stereotypical favorites, but just because that's just how I've lived in my life, it seems. But like I said in our messages, I love O's. Like that's my number one. Like he's number one, and then 2 and 3, and otherwise are close.
Yeah.
Because that's just like kind of like the one I started with. So always has that love and stuff. Geo, for some reason, I just really liked it. Even though the O's watch was so expensive. The only one I really cared about. Because and then what would be another Ghost? I know that's a very controversial one in the fandom and stuff. That's a huge controversial one, but
I'm here for the Ghost love though. I hated it when I watched it live in 2016, I think it was, or whenever it came out.
Maybe I had the Ride Watch in here, I would tell you, but I had to take them out of my room. But if I had it, I would look.
I have the Ghost one somewhere as well. But I was gonna say during quarantine of 2020, I got Sophia to watch Ghost because she was like, "Why do people hate this season so much? Like we have to watch it." And I was like, all right, why not? Like we're stuck inside. Might as well get into some seasons that aren't like quote unquote the best. Because I feel like even when you watch bad seasons, you kind of and if you think it's bad, right? Because I appreciate Ghost now, and she likes Ghost the season. So like we like it. We're on that positive side now. But I think for anybody,
what was the hated side of the
exactly
of Tokyo?
But to anybody that dislikes any season, I feel like you should at least watch it to one, see if you really dislike it, but two, I feel like it'll make you appreciate those good or better seasons a little bit more.
Yeah, 100%. And that can pretty much go for any Toku, pretty much, Like, and there's a topic that we talked about on It's Toku Time, which was the podcast I was on, where it's like everybody's favorites because like it was mainly talk about Power Rangers, just because that's what the American audience more knows of for Toku.
Sure.
Because some seasons that they hated, which like they're a little bit older, most of them, because like one of them has a kid. They're a little bit older than I am. I'm like 20, period. So like they're a little bit older. So like their favorites were like Mighty Morphin and like a lot of the earlier seasons, and like they disliked like Operation Overdrive and stuff like that. I grew up in the era of SPD, Jungle Fury, RPM, Operation Overdrive. So I liked that season, but then there's also the bandwagon of Super Megaforce is horrible, which because I watched the Gokaiger beforehand, I can agree with. But then there are also some people who started with that, and that's never a good thing to discredit any other seasons for any. Because in my opinion, hate is a strong word, but you can always critique anything, really. Like absolutely. Even like for like it tells you if you like something if you're critiquing it that slightly.
Yeah, exactly. And I don't know. I feel like sometimes people just let their own expectations and theories get to them too much. Let's say when a show is live, like, oh, this is gonna happen, and then when it doesn't, it's like this show sucks. But it's like, you didn't even give it a chance. You just thought something was gonna happen, and then when the show actually did what it wanted to do, you just didn't agree with it. So I feel like Sometimes I see people disagree with a lot of stuff that happens in the show, but it's like that's what the creators wanted to do. We're still in the seventh episode. This is just an example. We're still in the
Yeah.
seventh episode. Like, just keep watching. By the time we're in episode 40, you're not even gonna remember what's going on, and it'll probably be really good. You know? I don't
Yeah,
know.
exactly. Yeah, like, and also like the hate before a season comes out.
Yeah.
Like I love some of the memes for like the new Kamara season. Say like comparing them to Venom with like the teeth
Yeah.
and stuff. I love those. Those are fun. But yeah, it's always fun. It's fun seeing the hate and then just turn into like the next season. And it's like that one was so much better. Didn't you just say you hated it? I did not. Whatever. But
Yeah.
Super Sentai I haven't been as closely watching just because I know it's gonna be because they're also I'm gonna buy the things and it's gonna be like they're cheaper in America, and that's what happened with Gokaiger. Like I bought a lot of the Gokaiger stuff, and then when it came out in America, I was like, now I have to buy it all again, basically, because like that's the type of person I was like I will buy it all,
Right.
until I can't, and I live with myself. But but for Super Sentai, I do like the Gokaiger, but that was like again one of the first ones I saw.
Mhm.
Kaiger, and Zen Kaiger I've been really enjoying, because those are some of the ones I've been kind of more focused and like fully, watching past the new giant robot. Yay! Because that happens sometimes when I'm watching the stuff or being like, haha, I know what next season might be. Haha, Power Ranger.
Hell yeah. Yeah.
That's always fun. And like I said with Power Rangers, some of my favorites because I do love Mighty Morphin and everything. Like my favorite Ranger is Tommy. If I had my backlight on and like the camera turned, you would see like a collage of Tommy when I made one. I was like 8 of like his forms and Megazords and stuff.
That's so funny.
It was before Lord Draken too, so like so
Nice.
it's up there and it's out of date. And it bugs me. It's out of date, but I'm not changing it. And then like Wild Force I really enjoyed. And Operation Overdrive I enjoyed that. Same thing with like Jungle Fury, RPM. A lot of the fan favorites, but I did enjoy Operation Overdrive. Like when it was coming out, I was smaller, so I did enjoy it. I haven't gone back and watched it yet, but
That's cool.
yeah. And I haven't really because like I'm not going to spend more money on things I can't. Because I have too many other fandoms as well, like Five Freddy's and other stuff. I can't watch any other, or else I'm going to be like, I need to buy more things.
Yeah.
Because I'm that type of person, and I'm crazy. So I've only really watched those tokus. Yeah, the what people could say is the main, not counting Ultraman. Those are the main 4 people kind of know of. So like those are the only ones I've seen. So I would definitely recommend Kamen Rider because like compared to Power Rangers, they're more mature. But what I've heard, Garo is more mature than Kamen Rider. So it's like a line. Like if
start
with Power Rangers, go into like if you really love Power Rangers, start with then like go with the the technically main 3, and then if it's like I need to be more. I know that guy died and came back to life 6 times, but I need to watch another thing.
Yeah.
It's like a line in my opinion, but that's just my stuff on that.
For sure. No, I was just gonna say real quick on Garo. It from what I've noticed, it definitely does seem like it's made for adults. Like it's especially the first season. Like not to get too weird, but the first season of Garo has like a woman that's topless.
Yeah.
Like that doesn't happen in Toku, what I mean? Like that doesn't, you're not gonna see that in Sentai or Rider,
What you never seen Kamen Nashiko's like the behind the scene? No.
Right. Yeah. So like with stuff like that, it's like you're never gonna see that in Rider or in Sentai. And that's not something you would watch Garo for, but that's just an example of like one of the things that they add into their show that makes it literally for adults. Like it's not for kids. And I don't know, man. We've watched a few Garo seasons recently. Maybe even the same amount as Ultraman. I've only seen 2 seasons fully of Ultraman, which have been Ultraman Ginga and Ultraman X. I've seen like half of Ginga S, but I haven't finished it. And I watched the first episode of Zet, and that was really cool. But I haven't dove in much to Ultra. But yeah, no, I would say Garo is really that season that separates itself from everything else, but it still feels like Toku because you even see like actors from older tokusatsus, like Guy from Gokaiger, Sixth
Yeah.
Ranger. He is in a Garo season where he plays a Garo knight. So like it's very cool to see him be in a show like Gokaiger, but then like switch it up and be in a show like Garo, which is it's very cool, man. I would recommend that season to anybody that likes Gokaiger and or Guy, because like not only was it cool to see everybody else in what is it, it's called Garo, the one that shines in the darkness or something, but seeing the actor for Guy, Gokai Silver, in that show just made me want to keep watching. I was like, all right, when is he gonna transform? Like, he's so fucking funny. So like I don't know, I loved seeing him in other shows.
Yeah. It's always great, like when you notice those types of things. Like Kamar Solomon is also Shinken Gold and stuff like that, which is less of a bigger jump, but still, like,
Oh yeah,
it's always fun
absolutely.
seeing those types of things.
I love seeing the crossover, like Sentai Rangers becoming riders and or like riders back, like like cameoing in a Sentai season or something.
Yeah, those are always fun.
Yeah.
So before we continue to nerd out about Tokusatsu, because again, like I can keep going for hours on end.
Yeah.
We're only at 21 minutes. I only asked 3 questions, so we're good on. We're going good. Do you have any advice for anybody who wishes to start being on YouTube, or for hopefully a more pure reason than give me the monies?
Yeah, I think that's where I would say, just kind of think about your reasons for it. Like, if you're doing it because you want to be famous, you want to be in the spotlight, you want to like be like all the content creators that you're watching, I feel like that's an easy way to kind of just like not, I don't know. It seems like that way is not with good intention, you know what I mean? Kind of like how you were saying, like pure. I feel like if you're gonna start making content, you have to do it because you want to do it, you like doing it, and there's nothing else that you can do it for, or like there's nothing else that you can do. So just speaking from my own experience, there's a couple things that I am savvy with, like music, cooking, all whatever. But I've tried to be successful in those fields one point or another, and have just learned that it doesn't necessarily work out how you want to, and or things really just work out. Like life is life. Sometimes you just aren't in control of stuff. In the aspect of my journey of content creation, I've made it my mindset has just been, this is my job. I have to make this my job. I have to treat it like a job. I have to wake up, do something, go to sleep feeling accomplished about this. So like if you're going to go into content creation, I would say make sure that you love what you're doing and or know what the mission is. Like if you're just trying to have fun, make silly content, just do that. Don't take it any seriously than it needs to be. If you are trying to make something out of it, like you need this to work, like this is your end all be all, like I can't do anything else other than speak in front of a camera, do it, and do it with your whole heart. And like Zenkaiger would say, full throttle, baby. Zengyoku Zenkai. And I really, it really just comes down to, for me personally, I can't do this for anything else. I can't do it for Marvel. I can't do it for DC content. I can't do it for Star Wars content, which are like big things in the US, right? Like those are like, very popular niches. Some would even say it's basically part of pop culture now, rather than being like a nerdy niche or whatever,
Yeah.
Like I think superheroes in general in America are like widely loved. Like you see shows like The Boys and like Invincible and stuff like that, right? Like people want to see like different types of heroes now that it's just like a big thing. You get a lot of superhero content. So for me, I've always thought about like, oh, should I speak about this show, or should I talk about this? Should I react to this? And like I could, but I don't know enough about it, or honestly care enough to sit down, write a script, or just like make a video out of it. Whereas with otaku stuff, I can easily just like, well, maybe not easily, but I can like, I want to make
Yeah.
something, you know. It's like, let me find things that I can make a video out of, where if it's thinking of like a show review, or, you know, we just started a new series on our channel called Heroes Homemade, where we're just making, or we're cooking recipes, making dishes inspired by tokusatsu characters. So for Desast and Ren, for Kamen Rider Saber, we made this fried deviled egg concoction with like a green filling that like homages to Desast and Ren and their relationship in Kamen Rider Saber. So we're looking to do different stuff like that, and that's just me kind of thinking out of the outside of the box, because I want to add something else to this fandom. I want to bring something that people can watch and enjoy. That's something that maybe people can do with their friends or family, or like their partners or whatever. But long story short, I think you have to care about it, and you have to have like good intentions. I don't think if you're just trying to like make money, be famous, that maybe you can get somewhere. Honestly, who am I to say? But I mean, I feel like you want to be known for the good stuff, right? You don't want to be known for being a shitty person, and people can tell when you're being fake on camera. So for me, I've always just tried to be myself. And in real life, I'm just like a polite guy. Like I just like being the funny guy and stuff like that. So that's what I try to put out there on the internet. And that's what I would say to somebody that's trying to get into stuff. Just kind of like be yourself, have fun if you're trying to be fun, take it seriously if you need to. But at the end of the day, if you're just trying to make a couple videos, that's all it needs to be.
Yeah, that makes complete sense. Like I've been doing, like, for example, I've been doing this for 2 years.
Right.
It's going on 3 almost. In January it'll be 3. And like I had a co-host who helped me with a lot of videos in the beginning, but like you could, God, this could sound like I'm bad mouthing him. I love the person who was doing, my friend Dennis, who has helped me, and he's able to help me still nowadays.
Right.
Like this is not bad mouthing him at all, but it's just like saying like you can tell who cared more. That's right. A horrible way of saying it, but that's just that's the best way I can think of as of this moment in time. But I hope my point came across. Like he can come back whenever he wants. It's hard trying to find things that we both can do and everything.
It comes back to, I mean, just to touch on that, because I also work loosely with my partner Sophia. She's also in the channel in one form or another. But there is that like barrier where like I care so much about it that I'm willing to stay up 3 a.m, 4 a.m, just like thinking of something, whereas she's just like, oh, I'm kind of not in the mood to film today, so can we do that another day? And it's like, all right, that's fine, but I'm still gonna do something today because I need to make sure that I
need to.
Yeah, exactly. And it's not me being like hard-headed or anything. It's just
something needs to come out, and something needs to like we're on the same wavelength about that, because like the other day there was an issue, not gonna get into it because it's a stupid issue, and like I didn't have any interviews to come out. Like there was no character interviews or any interviews at all, and like I asked my co-host, and he was able to do it just like on the spot, so I had something to post.
Right.
So but most of the time because it's making a thumbnail, scheduling and scheduling people, finding people, and all that fun stuff, and making questions, or finding questions to ask them.
Yeah,
like, that's all me. That's 100%. Other than past guest questions, which I will be getting into. Yeah, it. Long story short, YouTube is very tricky, and you have to be in it. You have to be in it or not. It's not. You can't half it unless you're that popular. Then go nuts.
Like how I was saying before, with just like different people wanting to do like content, some people just want to make a video to make a video, right? And other people maybe want to make something more out of it. And I think both are okay as long as everybody knows where you're at, and as a person where you're at and like what you want, and you're vocal about that, right? So like just being upfront, like, hey, this is what I want. I tell Sophia all the time, like, if you're not trying to be super in front of the camera all the time, if you don't want to be a face of the brand or like the channel, you don't have to be. You be as involved as you want, and I think people just have to take that however they need to.
Exactly. Yeah. Next up, we have, it's kind of these are more silly questions, but they're coming from a past guest, a Mr. Zoom _2028. It's very long, very complicated. Bacon ?
Yes.
With a peanut butter ? Coming from the same dude. It can be any kind. It doesn't have to be one or the other.
Yeah, I have to be in the mood for peanut butter. Like, yeah. I don't like peanut butter and jellies because I don't really like jelly. So I can't have a peanut butter sandwich. It's just too bland for me. So like, I don't know if you've ever heard of like a fluffer nutter where it's peanut butter and marshmallow fluff. That kind of sounds like more like my jam, or like peanut butter and Nutella. But to be honest, I'm not really much of a sweets guy to begin with, so I might not steer towards that. I like peanut sauces in like Asian restaurants. I think that's really good. So like, maybe on like a good day, peanut, yes.
Yeah, on a good peanut butter day, it makes sense.
Yep.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
So and then one we cooked up in our kitchen. Bacon and peanut butter.
Oh, sorry. What was that?
Bacon and peanut butter ?
Oh yeah, that's my jam. I would eat that so hard. Hell yeah. Absolutely. That sounds really good.
Yeah, I've because we've asked that question so many times, I actually recorded myself trying it. And it was actually pretty good. Not gonna lie. I mean, it mainly tasted like peanut butter, but it could also just be because I put too much peanut butter on the piece of bacon. But
I think peanut butter is so overpowering. You put it in anything. It's kind of like banana. You put banana in something, you fucking taste banana. Same thing with peanut butter. I also
tried peanut butter and banana sandwich. That's also something I tried. Yeah. Not bad.
Yeah, that's another one that's not bad. Yeah.
I was watching Comrade O's while I was eating it. I was just like, I'm gonna watch it. I need it. No, it was double. It was double that I was watching.
Oh, gotcha.
It was like on YouTube. You know how they've been posting, one or two episodes.
Yeah.
Only one or two so far for each season, but hey, more power to them. Okay. I'm happy we can watch it for free without pirating it.
Agreed.
Without Kaizokuing it.
I agree.
Horrible puns coming from. But yeah. So you know what? Now we're just gonna do. I'm gonna think of some quiz questions for you because this is gonna be fun. This is a new thing. I'm gonna start doing some quiz questions. Why the hell not?
Sure.
So first of all, like you said, you are a fan of Comrade O's.
Mm-hmm.
What is the first episode's name?
Okay.
I'm looking it up to make sure I could say it because I think I know what it is. Yeah, it does. Okay.
I don't know it 100%, but I would love to guess.
Go nuts. Guess.
There was always like three things, right? It was like something.
It was like that, and yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. So this could be the last episode title too, but it sounds like it could be for the first one. Let's say.
I have them all pulled up right here, so I'll tell you from one of them.
Okay. Underpants is in there, right? Tomorrow's Underpants. Okay.
Yeah. It's
That has to be in there. Okay. I can't think of anything other than like, maybe like coins or like metals or something. Metals, something metals, and Tomorrow's Underpants.
Yeah, it's metals, underwear, and the mysterious arm.
Boom.
Close enough. I mean, hey, you got 2/3 of the word.
Yeah, very, very close. It wasn't spot on, and I'll admit to that, but I knew Underpants and metals had to be in there.
Hey, I'm the biggest O's fan. Like, I have like the Pro Grife key for O's, and I don't have the belt. Like for 0-1, so I can't say nothing about that. But
nice.
I wouldn't be able to do that. So that's great. I have to say that's. Like
I'm horrible at episode titles because like I never pay attention to them unless it's live. Yeah. Builds or like X8 I've watched live. So like I could probably maybe think more, but with stuff like O's or Decade, like I could not tell you the episode names. But the first episode of O is kind of like I feel like I can get that.
Yeah,
that was cool.
Hey, you're pretty good. I mean, not bad. So next up, I mean, I was gonna say you go win something. You go win respect. That's so just because we're on the topic of O's, what's the mysterious arm's name?
Okay, we're talking about Ankh.
Yep.
Which is one of my favorite characters.
Oh, I agree, 100%. I actually made a he has a glove and everything, but I actually made Ankh out of solo cups.
Oh, that's cool.
That's the way I can wear him. I actually have like both arms and everything.
That's
which
sick.
is not canon with just the white t-shirt and the cut off sleeve, but
Yeah.
I don't care. I made them both. Same thing with Edgy's arms as well for Puter Tiro Former.
Nice.
Dinosaur. Yeah. The special words for it.
Yeah.
So I'm looking around because I have like tokusatsu stuff all over my room.
Mhm.
What is one of the most famous Power Rangers? Like the person, not the not like Red Mighty Morphin, but like the person.
Oh, okay. Like the actor.
Like the like Jason Lee Scott, or like the character name, not the not the color and ranger and season, basically.
I would be an idiot to say, or I would be an idiot to not say the obvious choice here.
Yeah.
But if we're talking about most famous Rangers out there, obviously you would go with Tommy. But right? But
yeah. Everybody has their own opinion, of course.
I think oh yeah. But I think there's someone just as important to the fandom and just has been in maybe even more seasons than JDF. That is a very respectable Ranger who I love and who I think is pretty famous for who he is. And then I think gives Tommy a run for his money. And that guy, and I guess he's not one character, so this kind of doesn't count. But I was gonna say Kelson Henderson, aka Boom. He's also Mick in Ninja Steel. I think he has been in so many seasons, and he finally got to be a Ranger that I consider him like,
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
So we I'm just gonna do another Power Ranger one because I have it in my head and it's a fun one. Speaking of Mighty Morphin and with Tommy and stuff.
Yeah.
Who was Billy's last name meant to represent? I guess that's the best word. Or who are they trying to reference? I guess it's also a good word.
Mr. Bryan Cranston, who also voiced some villains in Mighty Morphin and played Zordon in the 2017 Power Rangers movie.
Extra facts for you people. and I have to say, 2017 movie wasn't bad in my opinion.
Dude, I saw it in the theaters 7 times.
Oh,
so I enjoyed it.
Yeah, I have only a few movies and stuff on DVD because they're not as common. I actually have that on DVD. I have that and Venom and the live action Grinch, and that's it.
Hell yeah, that's sick.
And that was in my opinion. The Megazord is way too big. The toy, it's up here. It's Jesus.
I hate it so much.
Yeah, God, and it was expensive. But so next up, it might not be a quiz question. It's kind of just a normal question. From your collection that you have, what's one of your favorite items you got from Tokusatsu? That's how I feel. It's which do I pick?
So one of the first things that we got that I was like, oh my God, I'm so excited to have this. Finally, I was screaming, was the DJ gun from Gaim.
Oh.
And, yeah. That and the Gabba revolver from Kyoryuger, the Morpher gun. Those two things I was too ecstatic for. But something recent is the Izu figure arts from Kamen Rider 01. We got her figure because we love that character so much in 01. So I'd say that it's pretty. We haven't even taken it out of the box. It's pretty up there for our collection.
Yeah. Awesome. And just because I just now thought of another question, or another quiz question, how many characters did the actress for Izu play in 01 or any movie, so on and so forth? You know, like any of the extra media.
Okay, so if we're breaking it down as this is gonna spoilers.
Oh yeah,
For
spoilers, of course.
I'm bringing.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say this now. If you care about spoilers for 01, just skip a little bit. But I will say that, you know, if you don't care for spoilers, stick around. Okay, so if we're talking about Izu, Azu, and then the Izu at the end, who is like not
New
really.
Zoo.
Yeah. So if we're talking about like new Izu, technically 3, right? I don't know if you've seen the movie Real Time. Okay, cool, perfect. So
in parts of it, at least, yeah.
Okay, cool. So she Izu kind of comes back. Like she's like basically like they bring her memory back, I guess, one way or another. I can't remember.
Common reasons. That's
right,
why.
exactly. Common writer reasons. But so technically 2, right? She's played 2 characters, but I would argue that the Izu at the end of the series is like a new character. So maybe 3. But I'll say 2 just to be safe from the internet.
I always say I would say 2 or 3. It depends on who you talk to, you know.
Exactly. For sure.
So I'm plugging in my mouse because my mouse is dying. So
gotcha.
It's like one of those like wireless or wire, and it's like I don't take batteries. You just have to plug me in every 5 minutes. At least that's what it feels like, or anytime I'm doing something. But what's next? So this might be a fun one. This might be a fun one, a little bit of a tricky one that I might not even know. How many on-screen ride watches are not released in a deluxe form? I'm saying in a deluxe form.
So I haven't finished Geo.
Oh, so.
But
spoilers.
Yeah, but I'm willing to take a guess if you give me 1 second.
Yeah, you're fine. While he thinks, and you stare at my chest of my lovely limited edition Demon Interviews shirt that's no longer in the stores. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit that bell icon, and if you want to follow this lovely man on all social media platforms, there will be a way to get to all of them in the description below.
Okay, so I know a lot of them were like early phase 1 Heisei forms that we didn't get to see in the show. Like Kabuto, Blade, those forms we didn't see in the show as far as I know. Kabuto, Blade, Hibiki, Agito, right. Deno, we didn't see as far as I know. So like those are some that I can think of for Heisei phase 1, but anything afterwards I feel like we saw a good amount. Like we saw the double form. Decade had a really cool form.
Decade is that's his own thing right there.
Yeah, yep. Double O's Forza. Yeah, I think everybody else got a form in the Heisei era, but there was just a few phase 1 riders that didn't.
Yeah, and I think you're pretty much good because it's like pretty much like the only like phase 1s that did was like Kuga,
right?
Before I continue, spoilers for his Geo. It's like Kuga, Fies,
yes,
Decade, and that's it from the first 10.
Yeah,
you know the watches obviously came out, and you know, and we saw those in the show, but like they were never used in like their own form. I think there's probably, if I had to guess, there's probably 1 or 2 of them that were used with Decade, if I had to guess, because I feel like I've seen one with Kiva, but that could have just been a fan art. Because you know it's always hard to tell between those.
Yeah, I feel like I saw a lot of pictures of like maybe promo images or like they even
like the games and stuff. There's a lot of and like cards.
Yeah,
like, they're in those
images of the ride watches have the Geo in that like rider form, but you never saw it in the show.
I used to have the boxes for them right there. I was gonna be like this one, but not right there. But yeah. Nice. Do you have any quiz questions for me that you can think of? Because I can. I'm gonna say this, and then you're gonna say something about a season I haven't seen. Because that's gonna be my luck.
No, not that I can think of right now, honestly.
Yeah, you're completely fine. Um, because for like the watches that like were like the toys and stuff, I think like that we never got like a deluxe toy of, because I know a lot of those off the top of my head, which was like most of the Showa ones that were like in the Omagio form or
Hmm.
Geo Oma form movie type of thing. Like a lot of those we didn't get. Also, like
Right.
no deluxe Beast Ride
Mm,
Watch. There was no deluxe. Genom, Cross Z, and a lot of secondary riders didn't get a deluxe release.
sure.
I remember the toys things. That's what I remember because I can't find them.
Right.
To shove on my shelf. Um, but yeah. Um, I think that's pretty much it. Now I can pop this open. So now we just got into the final 4 questions I ask everybody in the world.
Okay.
First of all, do you have any questions, comments, or concerns for me as an individual or about the show in general?
No, not that I can think of.
Awesome. Well, next up is would you ever like to come back to the show in the future?
Yeah, man. As long as schedules line up and I'm not doing anything crazy, yeah, I'd love to come back to talk to you.
Awesome. That is awesome to hear. Good, because I already scheduled you for 18 more things. Um, um, then do who would you like to see on the show in the future?
Who would I like to see? I would love to see, and I guess a lot of people do this, but I'd like to see maybe ranger actor interviews. I love seeing more of those. I think those are fun.
Oh man, that's it in my checkbook real hard, my dude. uh, God, I would love that. That'd be awesome. That's my end goal. That's my end goal. Get Tommy on here. Get Frank. Pass out. Um, Anywho, last question is: do you have any questions for a future guest?
um, yes, but I'm trying to think of it. I'm trying to think of one. I would like to leave a question for future guests. Um, where do you get off? No, just kidding.
Hey, I mean, we've had weirder ones. We have one that's like, what are those? So I.
Okay, I got one. Favorite ice cream flavor, and they could be balls to the walls bonker with it. Like I'm talking,
Yeah.
they could say corn is my favorite ice cream flavor. But yeah, let's ask them their favorite ice cream flavor, and then follow up with that whenever people answer. I would love to hear
Awesome.
some answers.
That'd be awesome, actually. Yes, corn is my favorite. The cornmeal. Um,
Cornmeal ice cream.
uh, God, that'd be weird. Um, but yeah, that's about it. Thank you, Jem, for being on the show. I highly appreciate it.
Dude, absolutely. Thank you for asking. Thank you for reaching out, and it was fun, dude.
Of course. And thank you all, right at the camera, because that's what you do in life, um, for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, do all that fun stuff. If you have any questions for our lovely guests here, put them in the comment section below. And if they're appropriate, if we ever get back onto the show, we'll ask them your questions. And don't forget to follow them on all the social media platforms. And yeah, at least I will see you in next video. Bye-bye.